What's up, guys? Let me show you what we have going on today's job. We're going to be building a retaining wall in front of this existing retaining wall to extend this parking area. The customer here bought a travel trailer. It's about 40 feet, so it doesn't accommodate, this spot currently doesn't accommodate it. The wheels end up coming basically all the way out to these caps, which is no good. So what we're going to do is build basically a horseshoe shaped retaining wall, remove those top caps, fill the whole thing in with modified to extend this parking area. This wall is going to be a reinforced wall. We're going to be using geogrid in the whole thing because he's going to be parking the trailer here. There's going to be that added surcharge put to the wall, so we're going to geogrid the whole thing, and I'll show you that process. First thing we're going to do is get this grass stripped and this mulch stripped, and then I'm going to go ahead and start digging the footings for the wall. So let's get rolling with that. We got the trench all dug. It's 2 foot wide. The block is about a foot deep or 10 inches. So this way we'll have at least 6 inches of base in front and behind the block. And as far as our depth goes, we dug down deep enough to accommodate for an 8-inch base and then 1 course of block being buried. The block is 6 inches tall. So we have 8 and 6, gives us 14 inches of depth from the lowest point, which was over here on this side. So it's about 14 from here to here. That side of the trench is a little bit deeper, but instead of trying to step it up or step it down, we just keep the first course all the same height, especially for a small wall like this. The next step is we're going to put down about 1 inch of modified in here, compact that into the sub base, and then we're going to put down our stabilization fabric. This front side. All right, so we got our base in. We used 3/4 modified here. We did it in about 3 lifts. There's a solid 8 to 9 inches down, and then we put about a 1/2 inch of kind of loose material on top. And the reason why we did that, it makes it a little bit easier leveling the blocks when you have a little bit of loose material on top. That way you're not trying to pound the blocks into, you know, super compacted base. You know, this way you get a little bit of loose stuff on top, and it should make leveling the blocks a little bit easier. We got the base course in and level. Phil's finishing up the corner down there. And now the next step is we're gonna fill the trench, the voids, and behind those blocks all with modified. We'll compact that, and then we'll put our next course on. All right, so the blocks are all secure front to back. Now we're getting ready to add the second course. Just gonna spot check everything to see how we're looking. That is right on the money. Come over here. If we gotta fix something, I'd rather fix it now. That's looking good. There you go, that's good, that's good. What we're going to do now is we're going to compact this modified, and then we're going to get our drain pipe laid in here. Then after that, we'll start filling around the drain pipe area with clean stone, and then building up the center with more modified. Have the ends of the pipes protected so no stone works its way in there. Dylan's right behind you. Oh. So we just filled in this course. We put our 3/4 clean stone in right next to the block and on top of the drain pipe, there's about 12 to 18 inches of it all the way around, and then the modified in the middle. And when we ran our plate compactor, if you noticed, we stayed about 2 to 3 feet away from these blocks, which is very important, because if you run that plate compactor next to these blocks, you can blow out your wall. So the outside edge just gets hand tamped, and then the center of it we use the plate compactor on. And hand tamping this is fine, because again, this is 3/4 clean stone, which is, they say, 95% compacted, just being dumped into place. So this is our last course of block. We got the modified in and compacted. Now we're going to dry fit our caps all the way, make whatever cuts we need. I cut these back at home because my my chop saw is at the shop, and instead of bringing it when we ran out for lunch, we're not too far, we just cut them in the shop. That way we're not cutting them by hand and, you know, potentially not getting a nice finish. So we'll get them all laid out, make whatever straight cuts we need for the edge, because I'm sure it won't be full caps at the end. Same thing with here, and then we'll get them all glued down. We're almost there. We got this topsoil raked out. I told him from the beginning, since this was a low spot, I didn't want the water all standing at the bottom of the wall here, right, and potentially you know, making the ground weak, causing a blowout or anything like that, because he's going to have a big camper set up there. It's like a 40-foot gooseneck, and it's going to be, the axles are going to be, you know, within 2 or 3 feet of the edge of the wall here. So there's going to be some load up there. So I told him, I said, look, let's build up the grade around it. That way the water is going to get stuck out here like it already is, and it's not going to make that area soupy. All right guys, let me show you the finished product. This is up above. We had a decent amount of modified left. We spread it out in this area because this sunk a little bit. We compacted it all up top where our wall is. Over here I just tracked it in because we only spread out maybe an inch or two in this whole area, so tracking it in was just fine. We're cleaning up the parking lot, well, at least Dylan is. He's doing a great job. Come down this way, we spread out the straw. Here's our wall. That was the existing drain that they had. That actually goes to a drain that's up in the front there. And then we threw a little bit of stone to help with some erosion. It doesn't see a lot of water, but anyways. And then this is our retaining wall drain. I'll show you guys the face of it here. There's actually 6 courses. You know, there's 4 exposed, but there's 2 buried. Like I mentioned earlier, we wanted to dig deep enough because this ground was pretty soft, and we built up the grade. So now the water will all run away. It'll kind of come through this way. You can see where it's sitting, it's already muddy, and it'll stay away from the wall. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and as usual, thanks for watching, guys.